Well, James, the best thing for you really this season is the fact you've always been there, haven't you? Ever reliable. I think it's over 50 appearances now for any player. That just straight off the bat is a great place to be in.
Yeah. I probably stuck like a bag glue on a shoe. No, it's been good. I think it's been a really good season. We're in a great place at the moment, so it's almost like enjoyed the last 4 games. I mean, we're lucky with kind of the opposition we've got the last few games. They should be really enjoyable games, and it's why we want to compete in this league and why we want to do well, because we want to have more of these seasons and more of these games.
Yeah, you've really earned the right, haven't you, to enjoy these final few matches. Looking at the fixture schedule, we all saw from day one the big away trips right at the end, and it's brilliant to be in this position.
Yeah, definitely. I think the most important thing was to make sure we retained League One status, which we've now mathematically achieved. And then, I mean, you look at the fixtures at the start of the season, Wigan away, Sunderland away are two that jump straight out and two that you look forward to. And it's nice to kind of go there with no pressure. They're obviously trying to still achieve things this season. So hopefully we can ruin a few pies.
You're very modest about your near ever-present record for this season, not only actually for this season, but last season as well, to get through 2 consecutive campaigns and to play so many matches. It must show that with the preparation, okay, there's a bit of luck around injuries, but with the preparation and all of that side of it, you must have got it spot on.
Yeah, our strength and conditioning coach would probably argue with my preparation. I mean, it's a nice achievement to obviously play so many games, especially in recent seasons. I kind of got into professional football a bit later than others, so I feel like I maybe have a lot of catching up to do. So it's nice to kind of, that's what you want to do, play as many games as you possibly can over your career. So it's nice to kind of hit those landmarks these last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and you're a really versatile player, but I remember speaking to you at the start of the season and you said, Mark's suggested more often than not, I'll be up the pitch on the left wing. That's going to be my position. And that's exactly how it's turned out. And I think for any player who's versatile, it's actually sometimes a bit of a relief when you get one position and you can really stick at it.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's obviously pluses to being versatile. You get used to different positions and you can see them. But it's always nice, I think, for your momentum and for how you're playing, to kind of have that same position week in, week out, so you can kind of create that momentum in it. So I mean, he wasn't lying when he said I'd be left midfield for the season. So it's it's been a nice outcome. I've enjoyed it, really enjoyed it.
Probably the one stat that's left you scratching your head a bit, given your overall performance levels, how much you've been involved in the attacking play. I guess you know exactly what I'm going to say. Just the 1 goal against Ipswich.
Yeah. My stats returns haven't been what I'd like them to have been. I feel like there's been phases throughout the seasons where I've created good momentum and created chances. I do think my game is more of creating for other people rather than myself, but obviously to progress my game and to get better, I know I need to add more goals myself to my game. So it's not been the best return. I think it's been an okay first season, and I'll be looking to push on next season to kind of create better stats and to get a better return.
It's quite a nice little aim actually for next season. If the lads up front can bang in the goals at a similar rate, if a couple of you guys in midfield can add a few more, that could be the single factor that takes you on to the next level. Yeah,
definitely. I think we've got to give huge credit to Joey and to Sam specifically, for the goal return. Just from them two alone has really helped us have this foundation in this good first season. And like you said, it's a team game, so I think if we can get everyone to contribute more next season, then it makes us less reliant on certain individuals to just be getting our goals.
And we've been talking to everybody about it, inevitably enough, the day that really crystallises everything that you've achieved this season, the game up at Newcastle. Is that how it feels, that the memories from that particular game, they do nicely sum up really all of the work that's gone into this year?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, they're the games that Newcastle was unexpected, but a lovely game. To be honest, I've really enjoyed Ipswich last week. I think that was a really nice game. Great win, great atmosphere. And like you said, they're the kind of games we look back on next year, the memories we've made, and we'll be hoping to make more. They're great memories that we won't forget.
Yeah, those two games sharing a lot of similarities in that on both occasions you had your game plan, which was devised really well, and then you guys went out there and executed it spot on.
Yeah, Bon's got to take credit for the game plan. Comes up with them every week, and we just try and execute them. And them two games, I'd say we executed them perfectly, and made them as comfortable as we could do, considering the challenges that we were coming up against. But definitely, I think we've done really well across the board this season. We've let ourselves down on a couple of occasions, but I think overall it's been a really good season.
For the goal up at Newcastle, you had pretty much the best seat in the house, didn't you? Standing on the edge of the area there, you watched it all unfold.
Yeah, I just stood there. I just stood there and watched Joey Swinburne put in a net. Yeah, I had a great seat. I had a better seat than obviously our fans that were up in the heavens, just looking down on it. No, it was it was a great moment. I mean, I've got so many pictures from that day already, and it's a day I won't ever forget. A day I probably thought I'd never have in football when I was like a late teen, and I think that's the same for all of us. It was experience. We went there actually quite confident. I think as a group, I've never seen a group so confident that we could cause an upset, and we did it. And my view was great.
Yeah, because it went through the different stages, didn't it? As the play built up and Ben played the ball through, and then Adam, you think at that stage, is he going to put it in the net? And then when the keeper blocks it, where's the ball going to go, and all of that?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably lucky it went in, because if it didn't, we'd probably have analysis as to why I wasn't moving for the last 20 seconds of that. But yeah, no, it was kind of almost you were just waiting for it to go in, but there was a feeling that it was just going to find its way in the net, and it did. So it was a huge relief.
Yeah, and you talk about the confidence that must have been really put to the test, and I think we've touched upon this with other players before. When you were standing in the tunnel beforehand, and there's just that roar, and because of everything that had been happening at Newcastle, everyone was particularly enthused. And I guess therefore there's a feeling if you deal with that, that's actually a massive hurdle jumped over, and once you've got through that, you really feel good to go.
Yeah, I think just as much as it's a physical football challenge, there are a lot of mental challenges that probably people haven't faced before in that game. Like you said, coming out, I remember saying to my family after the game that we come out and there was a huge roar, and then they come out, and I said, considering where they were in the table, I've never seen a roar like it, the atmosphere that the fans created for their team. Considering they were struggling in the league at that time, I've never heard. So there was a lot of mental challenges that people hadn't faced, the atmosphere, the pace of the game probably, that people had to overcome just to kind of get a result. So there were a fair few before and throughout the game that I thought everyone dealt really well with.
And just a final one from me. I know Josh Coulson, big mate of yours. I'm sure he put in a good word for you prior to arriving here. He must be chuffed that you've done him proud and lived up to the billing.
Yeah, I think he's more chuffed that I live about 5 minutes from him. So he's got good company throughout the season. No, of course he's lovely. I get on really well, of course. He had only good things to say about the club, which kind of helped me make my decision. And the fact that I live close to him now is always a nice comfort for getting to know the area, and it just made settling in to this club and outside the club, the kind of work-life balance it made it just so much easier. So yeah, it was nice to have him nearby. Yeah,
because you joked over the summer that he wanted you to move in next door, so you did end up pretty close.
Yeah. I live in the village next to his. So he's made a bar in his garden. So when there's a good football game, then I sneak over out of my house to go watch the football with him.
Cool, that's great for me.
Hi James, just one from me, just to add to that. To play, I guess when you started this season, you wouldn't have imagined playing Newcastle and Sunderland away from home in the same season. No. I guess you want to go there and get the same result.
Yeah. 1-0 would be good. 1-0 would be nice. I mean, if we can get even more goals, it makes it even better, less pressure. But yeah, for sure, we couldn't have ever imagined playing Newcastle away in our first season in here in the Cup. And we'll be looking to replicate that. I think the feeling, the atmosphere will be very similar. And if we come away with a win, it'd be even greater.
Okay, cheers. Thanks, James. Good luck.
just a quick one. Has anything surprised you about this season, or the way that you've adjusted to the league? As a team, that is, rather than individually.
As a team?
Yeah.
As a team, I got a really good feeling from day one. I think the management and the staff have made a really good atmosphere, and they've made that kind of pivotal in the previous seasons as to why they've done so well, is the kind of atmosphere they've created. So it didn't really surprise me. Everything I'd heard from people that I've spoken to was what it is, that it's a really good team. There are kind of no individuals. It's a real team game. It's a real good atmosphere, and everyone just enjoys coming in. So from that basis, I don't think it has surprised me. It probably surprised me that it's true, what people have said, but the atmosphere has been amazing, and I think that's led to us having such good days and having such a solid season.
But that's what I mean. Has it surprised you how well you've done in the division? Because you've never looked in any danger at all. It's looked very comfortable. Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. I think from the atmosphere created from day one, the pre-season through to the start of the season, I think it gave everyone a good confidence that we would have no trouble this season. I think it was everyone from the outside probably writing us off more than us. So no, it honestly hasn't surprised me at all. Coming through pre-season, seeing the group and seeing the atmosphere, I honestly thought we'd be absolutely fine throughout the season, and it showed to be the case.
And have there been any teams that you thought to yourselves, like, that's the benchmark, where you've gone, wow, they were really, really good?
I think for the way we want to play, Bonds has often mentioned that Rotherham are a team that he feels play maybe a similar style of football that have obviously been in the Championship and higher end of League One for the last couple of seasons. So they're a team that you'd almost aspire to be, with the similarity in the football style. That's somewhere we progress in the next couple of years that he'd like to see us kind of compared to. I think they were very good every time we've played them. Obviously, we've been unlucky not to beat them over the course of the season. But I think they've been a very good side, and one that we can aspire to kind of be similar to in the next couple of years.
And does it feel nice going into these 4 games knowing that you've got the safety margin? You know, you've got can't think what the word is, but there's no pressure on you to get results to stay up, but there's pressure on you to perform in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. I think it gives us a freedom, and obviously a less pressurized game, that we're not needing the 3 points to make sure that we stay in the league and retain our league status. So it gives us a nice feeling of freedom, being able to go to these big games and these big atmospheres, hoping to obviously still get a win, but without the pressure of worrying that it could lose our league status.
That's brilliant. Thanks, James.